because I told myself I'm not going to do this thing where I get halfway through and I'm like, nope, I'm not starting something else. But
4 half-done projects later.
I know.
Yeah.
The one thing I did do was I told you guys we'd landed on that she wants the Tesla for her car.
Yeah.
So I'm running I just finished all the electrical for the Tesla charger.
Okay, cool.
Well, I lucked out.
Thick wire?
6 gauge.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, 6 gauge. A 60.
Like a hose.
I know, it's like a 60 amp breaker. Yeah. So I run 6 gauge wire. So I ran it up the wall, over the attic, down the wall, and then through the exterior wall to put the charger out there.
Okay.
So I needed to run conduit because this is what they call THHN wire. So it's not Romex. So like Romex is where it's like one rubber or whatever you want to call it, one rubber thing with 3 wires inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is such high amperage, because it's such high amperage, you need for a 60 amp breaker, you actually need to run THHN wire, which is individual wires.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean individual? Like, oh, I see. They're not sleeved. I see. So you need
there's
to run
no sleeve.
2 or 3 wires. Does it need a ground as well?
It needs a ground and 2 hots.
Okay.
For this specific one.
Are they solid? Like with
they're stranded.
Romex, or they're stranded? I was gonna say they have to be stranded if they're that thick.
Yeah.
It's stranded. So it's like the size of a pencil, each individual wire. It's beefy. So anyway, because it's unprotected, I have to run it all through conduit. And I'm like, Jesus Lord.
Yeah. What do you do? Is it just like the half-inch conduit?
No, I had to get 1-inch conduit.
1 inch, okay.
So like you could make 3/4 inch conduit work, but it was not much more expensive to get 1 inch.
Yeah, but I'm sure those the corners and stuff like the 90s are probably fun when you're doing it with 3/4.
So I have a 100-foot snake line, right? Like a wire pole thing. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to basically put like one pole box basically on each side of the attic so that I can then fish it down the wall and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to put the snake all the way through the entire system.
Yeah.
That's stupid. There are too many curves and stuff like that. Dude, I couldn't even do it through more than like 3 curves.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all.
I couldn't pull it. So then I had to cut the conduit right in the middle of the pole, put another junction pole box in there.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I was up in the attic sweating. It was terrible. Covered in insulation.
If you put a little bit of... Oh, that sucks. Got to do those jobs in the wintertime when it's not hot out.
I know.
I've heard that if you put some dish soap in the conduit, it can help kind of lubricate the corners so you can pull them through a little bit better. But I've never actually tried that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this wire was actually pre-lubed, allegedly.
Oh,
it was kind of slick, had like a coating on it.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So I got that all situated. And it blows my mind when you're cutting like holes and stuff in siding, like you put those little like mounting plates and stuff on the siding.
Yeah.
Where, you put like a hose bib or something like that. You would think that it needs to be way, way, way more like sealed and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, you really just need to protect against water going in one direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I used to think when I was younger, that houses were much more air or watertight than they actually are.
Nope.
You're just really, all you need to do is like protect against the water from falling from above. It's not really meant to stop it from going sideways or up or anything like that.
I know.
Yeah.
But insects or snakes or anything else for that matter.
Yeah.
But like knowing me, like I went overboard. So I ran the wire through. I had spray foam insulation in the hole going through the wire. I siliconed it. I used rubber gaskets as I was attaching the PVC to the back of the Tesla charger. I was like, dude, if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to go overboard. And then I looked around at like the hose bibs. I'm like, there's like no protection here.
All the hose bibs have like a 1/2-inch gap around them the whole way around. Yeah.
But you also know why they do that. Another reason is if moisture gets in there, it has a place to go. So if you had it sealed up watertight, You got
No, I didn't seal the
go.
bottom, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, you always leave the bottom open.
Yeah.
But so after I ran all the conduit, I pulled my my fish tape out, and to give a rough idea of how much wire I needed, right? So I needed about 50 feet. So I was like, I'm going to get 60 feet of wire just so I got plenty of room. So I go to the electrical supplier, and they, like you guys told me, they said, oh, you need to have a contractor's license to buy from us. So I was like, whatever. So I go to the Ace Hardware. Their wire, they had the exact same wire. It's the South wire or something or other. And find this old guy in there to like help me like pull the wire out and measure it and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, that's 60 feet there. And he just goes like, gives me like another like 4 or 5 swift pulls. And he's like, it's not my wire. I'm like, all right, man.
Nice.